So I sacrificed 240,000 USD for this one single lesson. I'm going to give you this lesson in this video. I also spent over 30,000 USD on mentorship over the past 12 months alone, and I'm essentially going to give you the one key takeaway that I've taken from all the coaching I bought, sacrificing 240k and scaling multiple coaches and agencies over 100k a month in the last 12 months. So I want to start things off with an analogy, right? Let's picture this. You're on a mountain, right? You're at base camp. It's pretty warm, tense, pretty cozy. You've got hot tea, hot chocolate, loads of really nice people around you, hot food. But you look up and you see a peak, right? A clear peak bursting through the clouds. Beautiful weather up there. There's a castle on there with everything you can ever imagine. All of your wildest dreams in this castle, right? For you to get to that castle, for you to get to your wildest dreams, you need to go and leave your base camp, your comfy base camp with beautiful people around you, nice food, nice water, drinks, everything, to go through the shit. And I mean shit, I mean bad conditions, I mean thin air, I mean potentially lose 1 or 2 toes or fingers to frostbite, potentially fall off a cliff, right? After you get through that tough part, that discomfort, you get to this castle. Now, I've been in the entrepreneurship game for probably about 4 years now, right? Back when I started in door-to-door sales, running my own team. And I think it literally sums up the whole of entrepreneurship, this one key lesson. It's that comfort and wanting to avoid discomfort and pain is probably going to be the single factor that you don't succeed, right? It is absolutely inevitable that you go through shit, that you face discomfort, that you feel anxious, that you feel like you're out of your depth. I don't think there's been a time where I have grown and not felt extremely anxious, crippling anxiety. And I'll give you a story that relates to my journey. So my mountain and my base camp was a 240k USD a year job, essentially as a freelance closer. I didn't have to worry about any fulfillment, didn't have to worry about marketing, didn't have to worry about paying ads, anything like that. All I had to do was close deals, take 10% commission. I was making 20k a month, right? And I even had the opportunity to go into a next role to get to 40, 50k a month. But I knew that was the base camp, right? That was the hot cocoa, the tea, the nice dinners, the warm tents that was keeping me comfortable. Now my goal is to get to 10 million pounds by the age of I'm 30. And for me to get there, the one thing that's not going to do it is just being comfortable. Now, it's the same at all levels of business. Whatever level of business or success you want to get to, you have to go through that level of, shit, I don't really know what I'm doing. Shit, I feel very anxious. Shit, I'm a bit out of my depth right now. Okay, whether it be you're hiring your first sales rep, whether it be you're investing into your first bit of ads, right? Whether it be you building a VSL funnel, you have no idea what you're doing. It could even mean moving to a different country, like I've just done. Right? I moved to Dubai, set up my company here so I don't pay any tax. I'm going to Cape Town. It's pretty uncomfortable, right? I don't see my family, I don't see my girlfriend. I'm completely isolated. And there was part of me that for the past 12 months has wanted to go into a 50k a month closing offer where I don't have to give a shit, just close deals. But I knew that if I really want to get to my goals, if I want to build something great, then I'm going to have to look foolish for not going for an easy role in the short term to prioritize that long-term goal against that 10 million. So every single time that I feel crippling anxiety, right? Every single time that I feel like I'm out of my depth, like I feel like I could be doing something a lot more comfortable, I always sort of smile to a certain extent, because I know that you cannot make any progress without feeling discomfort and pain and anxiety. It's part of the game, right? You go to the gym, first week, your arms are really sore. You feel so painful. You're sitting in bed and you can't move, right? You can't grow your muscles without going through that discomfort. Then it gets a bit easier. So each level, you're unlocking your brain to the possibilities of what you can do. You're making it normal, you're making it just the average thing, and then you go for the next level. So I think whoever's watching this, you watching this, If you want to analyze it yourself, just think, when was the last time I really felt anxious? I really felt discomfort. I really felt pain. If it's not for a while, then you're probably not in the right game. You're probably not making as much progress as you think you should be, or you could be. And also, next time you feel anxious, next time you feel pain, just know that that is literally growing pains. That is literally a sign that you are on the right path, that you are growing yourself, your skill set, your ability to make money. And the game is, you've used that muscle so many times, you've gone through that uncertainty, that pain so many times, you've built so many skills that your baseline is being able to build a 7-figure business, an 8-figure business in almost any niche, right? To me right now, I feel pretty anxious that I've moved to a new country. I feel pretty anxious that I'm going into completely new verticals, targeting some enterprise companies, bigger companies to place sales reps into their business, as well as coaches and agencies, of course. And I was just lying in bed the other day and I was thinking, you know what, this is great. This is great because I know I'm getting to that next level. That is literally me in that mountain pass, going towards that castle, potentially getting frostbite, potentially feeling like, shit, should I go back down to the base camp? Should I just settle for a niche I know? And for so long, I saw some of my friends doing 30K a month, 40K a month, 50K a month back a year ago when I just started my business. And I was thinking, wow, I'm behind. Wow, why not? Why aren't I doing that? Why aren't I just taking the comfy route? And I think a lot of goals require you to look foolish in the short term for you to eventually get that last laugh. It requires you to seem like you've made a bad choice, seem like you should have done something else. But in actual fact, it's just a longer path, right? It's just more of a reward, so it takes longer. But that's a video. If you really want to get to that next level, you're gonna have to eat some shit. Anything you need, pop me a message on Instagram.